G'day everybody. You probably saw around about 20 odd days ago I did a post on the chicks that were hatching and that I had in the incubator, and they're actually hatching. They've been hatching over the last couple of days, and so I thought I'd just show you what the next step is once they've hatched and they're all hatched out and there's no more coming through. I then put them into a brooder. And this is my makeshift brooder. It's made from a fiberglass tank, which I actually use for aquaponics. That's what it's designed for. You could use a bathtub or any sort of large container. So what I've got in here is this thing that I've made, which is 2 sheets of core flute glued together, and then some bolts. Really long carriage bolts which go through with a nut and washer on the top and bottom, and they're so that I can wind this up and down. What this is a brooder, so it gives off heat. These are heat pads that are normally used for reptile cages and that sort of thing. You can get them on eBay very cheap. They're like, I don't know, $20 each or something like that, and I've hot glued them around the edge onto the bottom of this twin thickness core flute, which is glued together. And I've got 2 of them on here, so there's one panel there and another panel there, and then I've zip tied, just with some holes, zip tied the cables together to make it all nice and neat. These can be wound up and down as the chicks grow. At the moment I've got it set fairly low. The chicks will be able to scoot under there. Don't quite know, I might have to extend these legs a little bit. I'll have to see how the chicks go in there. At the moment they're set at the lowest setting. So that's my little brooder. A lot cheaper than buying the commercial ones. Really low wattage. I think these things are only 14, maybe 14 watts per panel. And because of the way they're set up, they can get under there and warm themselves. They can also hop up on top and sit on here. This will be warm. So then the cables go out, and I've just got the 2 plugs over there, which I'll put a double adapter on and plug into the wall. And then this over here is my watering system. What I did was I got some blue line rigid plastic pipe. I think it's 25mm or 20mm, something like that. And I've got these nipple waterers that go on there. You drill holes into them and they snap on with an O-ring seal. So I've got 6 of those. Then here I've actually glued in with some epoxy glue a hose fitting to take this line, which I've got running all the way through to a 15 or 20 litre plastic, what used to be a vinegar container, and then I've epoxy glued that into a hole in the bung, so it's all sealed up, and then that just sits on there and it gravity feeds through into here, fills this tube up, and then these little waterers, as you can see the water dripping out there, they can come up and peck that. I made these frames out of some angle aluminium, one piece of angle aluminium here and another piece here. I've bolted them here to form a leg, and then I've got this, which is just a little hose clamp, and I undersized these holes through here and then just wound the little bolt in, no nut on the back. Because they were undersized, the steel bolt actually cut its own thread into each of these holes, and now it's really easy to move. You just take that screw out, and as the chicks grow, you just move this up to the next level. I've just got one of those on each end, and that just sits down there like that. Water's above, gravity feeds down, and then there's no mess. You don't have to clean out their water dishes. They learn to use it pretty much straight away. And there's no wastage and no messy water. Basically, you never have to clean it. So it's brilliant. So anyway, I need to make up a lid for this that's with mesh over the top. which I'll show you at a later stage. But for now, the chicks are pretty much all hatched out, so tonight I'll actually be putting them in here. I've got some wood chips that I'm going to put on the bottom, some wood shavings to absorb their droppings, and that's my brooder setup.